no such thing as a meaningless life. Awaken them to the reality that their life will impact this world. And because their lives will impact so many others, I pray that they live prayerfully, as it says in Ephesians 6:18, carefully, as it says in Ephesians 5:15, and faithfully, as it says in Ephesians 2:8. Grace be to them, grace be to us all, and glory be to your name, God. Amen.
Amen. Good evening, fellow classmates, family, friends, Boca Christian administrators, faculty, and staff. Congratulations to the graduating class of 2023. We made it. You should be incredibly proud. And parents, you can take a deep breath now. My name is Alexandra Georgakopoulos. I started at Boca Christian when I was only 4 years old, in pre-K. And fast forward, more than a decade later, I came back as a senior, and I'm now closing out my final year of high school at Boca Christian. I can now say that my time here at Boca Christian has been one of the most life-altering and spiritually transformative experiences I've ever had in my life. I credit Boca Christian greatly for the excellent universities that I've been accepted to, like Pepperdine and Nova Southeastern. I've learned many invaluable lessons, and I'm grateful to everyone who has touched my life here at Boca Christian. The most important thing I've learned while at Boca Christian is having a close relationship with Christ, my Lord Savior, and this has influenced how I'll choose to live the rest of my life. My Christian education was transformational because it made me recognize the value of a Christian-centered life in all that I do and pursue. I come from a family of educators over several generations, and I'm passionate about teaching others. I've been inspired directly by all my amazingly talented and Christ-loving teachers at Boca Christian to follow a path of teaching because I want to help the next generation of students reach their full potential academically and spiritually.
For if either falls, his companion can lift him up, but pity the one who falls without another to lift him up. Also, if two people can lie together, they can keep warm. But how can one person alone keep warm? And if someone overpowers one person, two can resist him. A cord of 3 strands is not easily broken. A cord of 3 strands is intertwined together. While this does not make the cord impossible to break, it does make it very difficult to do so. It is a symbol of how the power of these relationships in your life can benefit you in your life with Christ. The 3 cords represent school, family, and church. I am blessed to say that each of these has made me into the person I am today. The first cord is school. I've been coming to Boca Christian since I was 9 years old. This school has given me many educational opportunities. Becoming a physician assistant has been my goal these past few years, and Boca Christian has been my greatest resource to getting there.
Servicer and administrators, family, friends, and distinguished guests, I am honored today to speak before you all. Shinui, Cambiar, Mudar, Henka, aka change. Change is a constant in life, and it is something that affects us all in different ways. Adapting to change can be challenging, but it is an essential part of growth and development. My time at Boca Christian, albeit short, was full of change. This time of my life has allowed me to reflect on past change, the present change during my time at Boca Christian, and the future change God has in store for me. In early 2019, I thought I experienced the biggest and most influential change of my entire life. Being diagnosed with type 1 diabetes is definitely out of the ordinary. With a new lifestyle, new not working pancreas, and new worries, I could define change as type 1. But no one ever said change was all bad. The way one responds to any situation affects the outcome. You can sit back and pay no mind, you can run away, or you can embrace and make something of the change thrown your way. In this big time period of change, I decided to embrace all that came my way. Through thick and thin, I faced change with determination and the Lord on my side. It should be noted, my battle with change was most definitely not over. The family decided to move to South Florida, change golden fields of corns and crops to palm trees and sea breeze that some call paradise. With this new change, I thought my troubles would be larger than the ocean itself. As one popular worship song goes, "Your grace abounds in deepest waters, your sovereign hand will be my guide."
As we embark on this new chapter, let us take inspiration from Francois' words of wisdom, guidance, and encouragement. His message will undoubtedly resonate deeply with each and every one of us, reminding us of the importance of faith, resilience, and transformative power of God's love. So, ladies and gentlemen, I invite you to join me in welcoming Francois Vosloo, whose words are certain to inspire, enlighten, and guide us as our graduates step into the bright future that awaits them. Francois Vosloo.
Just have a few simple thoughts to share with you today. And I want to talk to you about your choice. There are three things that you do not get to choose. You do not get to choose your arrival. You didn't get to choose for your birth. It's too late now, sorry, but you are born, and you were born well. You cannot choose the country that you were born in. You cannot choose the part of history that will be written behind your name. You cannot choose either your parents. And you cannot choose whether you are from a poor, a rich, or a middle-class home. All those decisions have been made for you. What should be our response to those choices? Huge gratitude. I remember when I was raising our own children, our younger son one day came to me and he said to me, "Papa," he was about 16 years old, "I can't imagine that you can be so dumb, not knowing all these answers." And when he came 19 and he finished school, he says, "Papa, I cannot understand how you can learn so fast in the last 3 years." Because he graduated and then realized how much there is still lying ahead of life for him. The second thing that you cannot choose is your divine design. You cannot choose your personality. You cannot choose your basic temperament. You cannot choose the gifts and the talents God has given you. Let's just take a small step backwards and look at the big picture. Paul says it so beautifully in Ephesians chapter 1. He says, before the foundation of this world, before God even started creating earth, you were already part of His plan. You were already part of being born at this time. And that is why He's giving you all these gifts and talents. Because He wants to use you to impact His world with 8 billion people. You do not get to choose those gifts. You do not get to choose either your DNA. He is inviting you to come and join Him on His team. The third thing that you do not get to choose is your departure date. You don't choose your arrival, you don't choose your divine design, and you don't choose your departure. Maybe this is the last day that we will see each other. I don't know. 2 people comes to mind, both of them from this school. The one was James Mitchell, 13 years old. And God took him home. His legacy still lives on today. Every year we celebrate his birthday. This year he would have been 30 years old. The other one was Garth Sangri. He's no longer with us. He sat where you sat. He graduated, went to university. He was crazy about sport. He went in his kayak out into the ocean, never to return. His legacy still lives on. The way he lived for Jesus. For him it was one day at a time. You do not know your departure. It doesn't mean we do not plan and dream and pursue those. But we need to live today as if it's the last day that we have. And then there are 3 things you can choose. And I want to ask you to take out your key that you received today. This key resembles your life. And I just want to ask you just to hold, you don't take it off from your neck, but just to hold it, please. There are 3 things that you can choose. 3 critical things. The first one is your friends. Either they are going to pull you down, or they're going to provide shoulders for you to stand upon. Paul writes to the Corinthian church, he says, do not be deceived. Do not be ignorant. Bad company ruins good morals. This week, 3 young people, young professionals, stood in the parking lot, asking them, what are you doing? And we are helping our friend to delete some of his friends Because whenever he's with him, they are sucking him down, pulling him down. He cannot continue with those. The second one that you can choose is what you are going to do with your life. In the light of God and in the light of His design, His divine design, you need to align the two. He wants to live through you. He wants to shine through you. If they are misaligned, it leads to rebellion. It leads to huge failure. It leads to missing God's goal for your life. And then in 2 Timothy 1 verse 9, he says, God who saved us and called us to a holy calling. And some of you students have already said that. God has a holy calling, a specific assignment for you that He longs to see you pursue. And then the third thing that you get to choose. Just wait a minute before you do that, please. Don't go home and say, I've got my license to get married. But you get to choose your spouse, your husband or your wife, which is critical because 50% of those relationships breaks down with devastating consequences, both for those involved as well as for the children. Proverbs 18 says in verse 22, find a good spouse and you find a good life. And even more, the favor of God. I want to come down to you for the last 3 points because they are not points you cannot choose, and they are neither points you should choose. They are points you must choose. Just bear with me, please. The first one is you must choose who you're going to build your life around. It's not a very difficult choice because there are only 3 options. The first one is Jesus. The second one is Satan. The third one is self. Jesus was the one that created you. He is the one that put you together in your mother's womb in the most amazing way in Psalm 139 where he says, you have been fearfully and wonderfully made. Too marvelous for words. You are an amazing group of people. He has a purpose and a plan and a future for you. If you consider Satan, he's a liar, a deceiver, he robs and he steals and he kills, you are not going to accomplish what God has called you to accomplish if you make him the center of your life. The third one is self, and many people choose self. You want to be engrossed in your own selfishness, greed, pride, and arrogance. Moses wrote to the people of Israel and he said to him, I set before you today life and death, blessing and curse. Therefore, choose life that you and your offspring may live. Please think further than yourselves. You are finishing school now. The next chapter very often leads to marriage, leads to the next generation. You are not just making choices for yourself, you are making choices for the next generation. Not just in terms of your family, but in terms of the country, in terms of the nation, in terms of the nations as well. And then he goes on to say that your offspring may live, loving the Lord your God, obeying his voice, and holding fast to him, for he is your life and length of days. The second thing that you must choose is good habits. I know we don't like the word discipline, that is the biblical word, so I choose good habits so you don't switch off immediately. Good habits is critical for this journey. You must choose good habits. Either you are going to make life happen, or you are going to watch life happen, or you're going to don't know what is happening around you. It is your choice. Choose today. Life is tough. Life is exhaustive. Life is demanding. Life is a battle. I love so the verse that you've chosen as a school this year, where it says, you have covered my head in the day of battle, Psalm 140, verse 7. Listen what Jesus says. He says, I am not alone, for the Father is with me. Can I repeat those same words for you? You are not alone on this journey. Jesus says, the Father is with you. And then he says, I have said these things to you, that in me you may have peace. In the world you will have trouble, you will have tribulation. But take heart, I've overcome the world. Good habits is necessary for our daily alignment with God. We call it time alone with God. If we want to be aligned with who He is, we need to take time with Him. We need to stand firm every day because of the spiritual battle we are involved in. We need to also be ready to cope with all the stresses, with all the pain, the lostness, the agony in this world. How are you going to cope with that? Pornography, drugs, alcohol, workaholic. These disciplines are critical for us to cope with this world in which He has put us. And then the last one for us to cope with are the 3 Ds. Beware of the 3 Ds. Our good habits will help us. They are called divorce, depression, and disaster. Don't go there. Stay with Jesus. And then the last one. You must choose success. But it depends so much on how you define success. Most of us define success as looking good, feeling good, living good. That is not success. One day, each one of us, me included, will have to go and give account of our lives before our Father. And He's going to say to you, this is what I have given you. What did you do with it? And that is why success is spelled stewardship. It's spelled...
Back on all we've done, I hope you're proud when you look back and see how far we've come. It was our time to shine. Well, I've been afraid of changing, 'cause I built my life around you. But time is bolder, even children get older.
It is with great pleasure that I present to you the Boca Raton Christian High School class of 2023.